Okay, for today, we're starting with the law of sines, and here's how it starts. Do you remember when the law of sines is especially useful? Yes? An angle and the side across from it. So I'd like you to make your little triangle off to the side with sides of like 6, 7, and 8. And if it was just that, not a great time for the law of sines. But what if you knew this angle here was 35 degrees? Then you wouldn't even need all three sides, I mean. Sorry. So law of sines is particularly good when you have an angle and the side across from it. Let's finish this thing. A over sine A. What do you got next? Little b over sine big B, and finish the deal. All right, awesome. Now, in this particular case, does the A and the B and the C have to be in certain places? Nope. It's law of cosines where you really got to be careful with that. All right. So next up, let's have the dice of destiny choose a kid who's going to hopefully tell me the law of cosines. Row 2, person 2. That's you. Yes. Remember the law of cosines? B cosine C, and since this is the law of cosines, it totally makes sense that cosine is in it, right? Equals what? Excellent. Then, tell me, in the triangle, do I need to have an angle and a side across from it? No. Give me 2 scenarios that work well for the law of cosines. Side angle side works great. Let's say that's 8, that's 40, and that's 9. Get the idea? Side angle side. Okay. Now, what else could work well? This is the only one that can solve this dilemma. 8, 9, 10, where you've got 3 sides and no angles. Only this one. I shouldn't say that. Actually, you can use a really complicated method, and law of sines could work, I think. But this, for sure, is a law of cosines question. Oh, the Heron's formula, that would give you the area of it, but it wouldn't give you the angles of it. All right, and our third and fourth formula are area formulas. So in this area, I'd like you to draw 2 triangles. Actually, you know what? Let's just make one. 7, 6, 8. If I gave you the 3 sides, can herons work? Yes, works really well, in fact. And to do that, you'd need to know it's the square root of the S. What the heck is an S again? Semi-perimeter. It's half the perimeter. Very good. And then you times it by S minus A, and then times it by S minus B, and then times it by S minus C. So let's do a real-world scenario here. 7, 8 is 15, plus 6 is 21. Oh, ick. That's all right. 21 divided by 2 is 10 and a half. So my semi-perimeter is 10 and a half. And then I'd have the semi-perimeter minus 7. So 10.5 minus 7, which would make what? 3.5. And then 10.5 minus the 6, and that would make 4.5. And then 10.5 minus the 8, which would be 2.5. All right. I just wanted to give you an example of a Heron's and the actual formula. And then there's one more. What if they don't give you all the sides? But what if they again give you side angle side? For side angle side, like 8, 9, and 20, to find the area, you know what, sir? 1/2. A, B, sine. And here's how you can remember that. Only the law of cosines has a cosine in it. All right. And I know you'd probably work that out for yourself on the test. All right, so then you'd stick in A is 8, B is 9, and it doesn't. Those can be reversed. But C has to be this angle. Just like in the law of cosines, that has to be called C. What if it's not called C? What if they call it A? Well, you just ignore what they call it, and you call it C. Because otherwise your equation won't work. And if this is C, then of course you're automatically saying that and that are A and B. So for law of cosines, this has to be the angle that they give you, or the angle you are trying to find has to be C. All right. So there's just a quick review of the major formulas that are going to be in action today. And here is 3 homework problems I would like you to do. And you do not need to write these down right now. I encourage you to use technology to your benefit here. You can just use your iPad and take a picture of it later in the hour, because you're going to be up walking around with your group, putting over here and checking your answers for the little golf activity. They are written on this yellow sheet right here. You're going to be coming up to check those after you've had a chance to try the golf activity. Remember, on the golf activity, the key is they tell you some sides don't measure this. Don't measure them. Just try to use the info they give you. If you cheat yourself right now and, hey, yay, you get a worksheet question right, that doesn't really matter, and you don't know how to do the test question on Thursday, that's a dumb idea. So anyway, just follow directions on the sheet, but look at the little flags. The flags tell you what exact angle you're supposed to try to find. All right? So, let's see. What else are we doing? Yes, we are going to do a little practice of the top 20, and then the real thing will be tomorrow. I am going to be gone tomorrow. I have a substitute teacher, and so he's going to hand out the top 20 and give you only 20 minutes to do it, and then we are going to collect them and reshuffle them out to like a random person and grade them in class, so you'll know your results right away. What if you did badly? It is going in the 85% category, but you can do a retake as many times as you want. If you have a beef with how it was graded, you could talk to me when I get back, and I can fix that. Okay? All right. So here comes the top 20 practice. Is only 5 questions, and so therefore, how many minutes do you think you'll get? 5 minutes. All right. So let's do that on the back side of the golf thing. So everybody got the golf page? Backside's blank. Flip it over. Let's see how you do on these 5 questions. I'm going to pause while I put them up. Okay, so these are the 5 questions, and you have 5 minutes. Go. Okay, so here's the answers. On number 12, we got y over 2x to the 4th. For number 13, we got 4x squared, and then you do the outside and the inside, and you get 20ax, and then the last give you 25a squared. On number 14, it's 3/4 times flip and multiply. 9/4 makes 27/16. On number 5, that's the distance formula. Hopefully you have a good way. I tell the kids a story on how to memorize that, but I won't reiterate that right now. And that one comes out to the square root of 13, by the way, if I never actually said the punchline. Square root of 13 was the answer there. And number 16, 0 goes to -4, 1 goes to -1, 2 goes to 6, -1 goes to -3. There was an infinite number of things you could have put in, but usually people pick the small numbers and stick them in for x. Okay, so that's just a quick reminder about the top 20. That test is happening tomorrow in class. And then we'll move on to I'm going to pause while we're going to do an activity in class which I can't really replicate, but basically it's a practice for law of cosine and law of sines using this little golf activity. So this is an optional thing if you missed the class today and you're just watching the video. Basically, you're going to find a couple sides and some of the angles are given, and either use the law of sines or the law of cosines to find the angle in question. All right, so that's your next thing. And what's on the screen right now is your homework for tonight. These 3 questions, I want to talk you through them briefly. Of course, on the first one, I don't want the angles. That's why the question marks are at the angles. Probably use which one? Law of what? Cosines. Good. Put that cell phone on my desk. Thank you. Part B is you're going to do this area both ways. And the both ways are Heron's, which is semi-perimeter. Remember that one? Square root of the semi-perimeter times s minus a, s minus b, and s minus c. And what's the other way? 1/2 ab sine c. Good. Remember that cosine is only found in the law of cosines. All right. So you don't, by accident, think that on B you'd use cosines. All right, on to C. That one is the unknown case, the ambiguous case, actually, where the bottom here, we can't tell whether it's this triangle or whether it's that triangle, and that means there's 2 possible triangle scenarios and therefore 2 possible bases. Find me both the smaller base and the bigger base that's possible there. So that's what your homework is for tonight, those practice questions, and you're going to start those after you have had a chance to do the golf activity in class. If you have on the putting green, if you putt one in, you have 2 chances. I just did it a minute ago. It was pure luck, but hey, proving it can be done. I have a very valuable reward for you of the amazing combination of mechanical devices the kids can see in class. All right, that's all I have for you for the video for today.